Okay, well, hello. Welcome to Baking with Jen. I'm Jen, and this is my show where I bake stuff to try it out for baking. I'm trying to learn how to bake better and become like a good home baker, and so that's what we're working on. Fine. All right. So I'm having technical difficulties. I've been using this phone for filming forever, and now it's been timing out and not cooperating. Okay, so we got this. But anyway, welcome to Baking with Jen. I'm Jen, and this is where I try baking different things that I've either not made very many times, I've made a long time ago, or I just have never made before. So we're trying baking different things. On Tuesday, we went through and we made brioche dough. We made the brioche dough. Um, and so today we're supposed to be forming and baking it. Now, after 48 hours in the refrigerator, this is what my dough looks like. I only pulled it out of the fridge about, this is getting frustrating. I only pulled it out of the fridge about 45 minutes ago because I had appointments this morning and I forgot to pull it out before my appointments. But after 48 hours of in the refrigerator, this is what we look like. So that's awesome. Um, we're using the same recipe that we did last week. It's gosh darn it. This is gonna frustrate the heck out of me. It started doing this last on Tuesday, but it didn't keep doing it. And right now Facebook's not connecting for some reason. Just technical difficulties all around. That's okay. So anyway, today this should make technically like 2 loaves of brioche. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn half of it into a braided loaf and the other half into buns. The loaf we're going to put in a loaf pan, but the buns we'll just put out on bread on a sheet pan. So let's rearrange and let's get started working on the dough. It's a lot of rearranging, huh? Okay, so you know what? Let's look at the recipe for just a second. Um, right here, right here. Perfect. I just want to make sure I knew where it was. I am personally looking at this mostly on my phone, but we can do it this way too. You know, let's look at it bigger for now. So on here, it does say, plastic wrap about an hour until doubled in size. Mine actually took about 2 hours to double in size. I don't know if that's because I'm using bread dough or bread flour, or if it was because it's warm in my house, so it shouldn't be because of that. But yeah, otherwise I'm not sure why it took 2 hours to rise, but it took 2 hours to rise. I punched it down and then I put it in the fridge, and this is where we are now. So the next day, once the dough is doubled in size, punch down to deflate dough completely, then recover with plastic wrap, refrigerate overnight until you are ready to bake the next day. Follow letting dough proof until doubling before baking, longer if needed. Well, it has apparently doubled, so we're doing good so far. All right, so now we go down to step 5. Once the dough has doubled in size, turn it onto a floured surface and punch down dough. Divide in half using a bench scraper. You need to go. You need to go away too. Do I make? I don't know. I don't know how to make the ads go away. Anyway, flatten each piece into a rectangle, then fold short ends in towards each other as folding a letter. Flatten again, tightly roll into a log. Repeat with all those. We're technically not doing any of that. So let's get started. Part of the reason why I wanted to bring up the recipe is I wasn't sure if we needed a floured surface or not, but we do need a floured surface. So, let's remove the plastic wrap. This thing happening with my camera is going to make me super mad. But, okay. It's what I was just saying before I was rudely interrupted by my lack of camera. It was that, let me grab the bread flour. At the moment, the dough is looking a lot less sticky than it was the other day. So let's just lightly floured surface. We're gonna lightly flour the world because that's how these things often work. Scraper. This is a scraper I usually use. And I'm gonna see, okay, I'm sorry, I'm left-handed, so I have to set my kitchen up differently when we get to the new house so that I can actually do things better on camera. But we'll see how that works. See, just pulling that out by hand. It's still cold from the refrigerator, so it's all one solid piece. But to scrape it, we'll just scrape out the inside. And look, there's not that much to scrape out. Now, if it was all kind of damp, then we would have had to scrape it a lot more, at least to get it out of the bowl. Or warmer, if it was warmer. There we go. And then I'm going to put a little bit of flour lightly on top of here. And it does say to punch it down, but I don't know how much punching really needs to be done right now. But this is a hefty thing of dough. It wasn't even like this hefty when I put it in. This is going to drive me crazy. Absolutely bonkers. Come on, fix. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yep. Technical difficulties are going to drive me crazy today. Anyway, so I cut this in half because this recipe is for 2 loaves. I'm going to set one of these back into the bowl for the moment. Now this says to cut this into 6 pieces. I think I'm gonna make a loaf and I'm gonna make some buns. So I'm gonna make my loaf first, and for the loaf I wanted to do a braid. So we're gonna do a 4-piece braid. So we're just gonna cut this into 4 pieces, and because it's from a circle, this is 4 equal-ish pieces. And then these are just gonna be roll strings, dough, flat, what is this called when you make it all tubey and stringy and long? I don't know. We're doing that though. We're rolling it out, Apparently I gotta keep an eye on my camera because it keeps trying to turn off on me. But I'm hoping that by working with the dough, my house is really warm right now. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's like 90 out today. So like 90 in April. Oh, anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to make long streams, um, oh, rolling the dough out long. And then we're going to braid this and put it into a loaf pan, and we're gonna let that rise. I do have the recipe pulled up on my another phone. I have I have all of the things going on right now. I'm recording on a phone. I have my phone as a backup to record, and it has my recipe on it right now. The laptop has my recipe on it, and that's what we got going on right now. Okay, so I got one stringy thing, and we're just gonna form all four of these into stringy things right now. And I can tell that, like I was saying a second ago, as I work this is definitely warming up because like when I first picked up this piece, it felt like cold pastry dough, like a pie dough or something. And it's starting to get a little sticky in some places, so I am just like lightly coating things in flour just to I just don't want it to be super sticky everywhere. That's all. This was a very, very sticky dough, and it is a very enriched dough. So it has a lot of enrichment. It's a lot stickier than most dough is going to be. Um, yeah. And so part of what I'm hoping is that by go ahead by rolling these out into strings, then that'll help warm it up and help it start getting to rising properly. Because if not, I might have to show you guys what this looks like afterwards. Because um, I was gonna also make a pizza today. Um, and maybe we can still go through and make the pizza dough. Maybe that could be a thing. But uh, because I made a sponge. Well, okay, so when making the brioche, I'd made a sponge off of camera because it needed to sit for a long time before we used it. But I still made one on camera. And so for the sponge that I made on camera, I just added a little bit more flour and a little bit of water to it. And I kneaded it a lot, but it turned out really weird, and I don't think it rose very good. I do have it sitting out, but it has like a crust on top of it, and I should have like sprinkled water on it or something, but I wasn't thinking about that when I did it, and I was just tired of kneading, and I'm like, I'm done with bread for the day. Done with bread for the day. So, um, we might see about making the pizza dough. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're gonna do besides the brioche. But right now we're working on the brioche. So, yeah, I know technically it said lay it flat and do all this fun stuff with it and roll it into a little thing, but I didn't do any of that for this. So technically, yes, I am doing it wrong, but we've already risen the dough. I've already risen the dough once. It rose for like 2 hours, and now I set it out to warm up for about 45 minutes, but it does say it can take up to 2.5 hours. But like I said, I don't know if it actually came across the camera or not because this camera keeps turning itself off. But I had a bunch of appointments this morning, and I forgot to pull it out before I went to the appointments, and I pulled it out when I got back, but I got back at like 11:45. So 11:45 to 2 o'clock or to 1:30 is not 2 hours. 45 minutes ish. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're roughly the same size, which is what we're going for. And so one of the things I've been looking at is how to do a bread braid. Bread braid. I'm going to see if I can kind of stretch these out a little bit because I do know that it's going to, braids are always smaller than like what they are. All right, there we go. But anyway, if you look at someone with long hair, if they ever braid their hair, then it's shorter than their hair is long because the twisting makes it shorter. It's like Rapunzel. No, not Rapunzel. What is that movie? Tangled. Tangled. They braid her really long hair. So from what I understand, it's twist these. I'm not gonna push these. Okay. So I'm not gonna pinch this end together yet because I want to braid it on the other side when I'm done. But this is what we're trying for now. Let me see if I can get you a little bit more involved. There we go. So this one went over this one. This one over this one. This one. Over, under. I think it goes something like this. I think it's more of like a weave than a braid. I'm not entirely sure with these things, but we're trying the best we can. So I think we're just gonna fold all this together and tuck it under and call it a day on that side. But let's see if we can tighten this up a little bit on this side and get it a little bit more. Because I know it's like you twist things and you twist things and you twist. If this camera doesn't stay on, I am going to end up punching something. This is very, very frustrating. Okay, so twist. Everybody, let's twist like we did last summer. Let's twist again like we did last year. Haha, there we go. Well, at least this side is braided. Why does it look so funky over here? Okay, we got this side looking good. So I am going to scrunch this together. Scrunch, scrunch. Let's redo this because it's not looking right. We're going to just do this. Where does it look wrong? It looks wrong here. That's where it looks wrong. So we have this first part braided nicely, nicely. Nice braiding, nice. See, that looks like, okay, this needs to be that, and that, and that. That's where it was all messed up. But this one looks wrong too. This one looks wrong too. But this is over, and this is over, and this is over, and then under, over, under, over, and this is under. Ah, my knee just started itching randomly. Over, over, under, over, under, over. All right, that looks good enough. Look, we have a braided rope of dough. Lovely, lovely. So, loaf pan. Lovely, lovely loaf pan. I like this loaf pan. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not streaming to Facebook today. It's having weird connecting. So we're going to take a little bit of cooking spray and spray down the inside of this. I'm not sure how well it got on the sides, so I am just going to kind of rub it in all over just to make sure it's fully coated. Not really rubbing it in, but coating it gently. Coating it gently. Coating it gently. So I'm going to tuck the ends in a little bit and then kind of scrunch it so it kind of fits. Okay. So now we have our lovely braid in our lovely pan. And I am going to put this plastic wrap right back on top of it from where it was in the bowl. And now we have a brioche braid in a in a loaf pan. There we go. I was going to say a baking tin. This is into tin, and yeah, so loaf pan, braid of brioche. Now it's not going to stay a braid. It's going to like fuse together and become a big loaf. But put the big loaf over here. Now we have our second half, which I folded it, so now it's looking weird. For the second half, I wanted to turn these into mini loaves, and I want to see how they rise just like on a sheet pan. So, the recipe says to cut this down into 6 and turn those into little twirly things to make them into like, and then you put all 6 of they look kind of like cinnamon rolls if you look at the picture. Let me see if I can pull that picture. All right. I had a sinus infection, breaking and entering. All right, add to stage. So we have the recipe. Let me see if I can find the picture of where it shows. Nope, that's not the picture. Where it shows the bread. Oh, like right here. This is the picture I was looking for. So you can see, it's like swirly 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like it's 6 swirlies all lined up in the pan, and then it's made into a little thingamabobber. I wish that I could put the recipe just teeny tiny off to the side. I think that would be really helpful, but we can't. So we're just gonna go to the camera. Anyway, so you're supposed to do 6 little swirly things, and then put all the swirly things together and make a loaf. What I think I want to do is I want to make individual little loaves. So how am I gonna do this? I think I want to do these as little braided loaves, or should I do them as little something else? Okay, we're gonna turn this into 4. This one's technically gonna be like 4 mini loaves, 4 buns, 4 bun mini loaves, something like that. So each of these is gonna be its own thing. They look about even. These look about even to you. They look about even to me. We're gonna pretend that they're even. I don't know if they're even. This one actually feels a little bit small, but I feel like they all feel a little bit small. So we're gonna run with it. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna call it a good day. I said good day, sir. Okay, off to the side. So for these mini loaves, I think I'm gonna do these as a little bit of a twist. So should I cut these into 2 or 3? I'm gonna put them into 2. Into 2, and then this is, like I was saying earlier, this, I don't know if it came across camera, but this is an enriched dough, so it's not super sticky right now. We kneaded it enough so that it's not sticky, but, or it's not super sticky anyway. It's not like it was the other day where it was basically fluid from how it was. But right now, it's like the inside parts are sticky, but the outside's not so sticky. And so we're just using a little bit of flour to make it better. Yeah, I'm gonna just do this as like a double twist, and well, maybe we'll play around with some of these. We'll play around with these and see what we can get, and if this will actually raise like as individual like standing loaves instead of like formed loaves in a pan. I'm using the wrong words. I know for a fact I'm using the wrong words. I'm not sure what are the right words. So, but I know I'm using the wrong words. Because I forget what it's called when it's a free loaf by itself, not in a pan. I know when it's in a pan, it's like a formed loaf or something like that. But this is just freestanding. This isn't going to be in a pan. This isn't going to be. Yeah, I'm going to get a sheet pan out, and we're going to just put the 4 loaves on it and have them form into something or other. Maybe these will be buns. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know my life. I'm just living it. So yeah, I'm just trying to roll this out nice and long. But part of the problem is if like the amount of flour that's on it is making it slide, so it's harder to roll. But if it's sticky, then it sticks and it doesn't want to roll either. So the fine balance between sticky and roll. Any what's-its, any what's-its. Make this nice and long and pulling. Now, this is even longer than the ones I did for the bread, but it's also a lot thinner than the ones I did for the bread. So the loaf of bread, like, okay, so this, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like sticking to me. See, sticking. So without a bunch of flour, getting this all sticky. Roll, roll, roll your dough. But, well, I guess this isn't doing too bad. It's rolling out nicely, and then maybe, because now it's like trying to stick to the counter. So maybe I roll it out nicely, and then I like coat it in flour. I don't know. Anyway, we're just gonna twist again, like we did last summer. Let's twist again, like we did last year. We're just gonna twist it. Now, I hate doing my hair like this because it comes undone super easy, but I think that, and then let's roll it into a cute little bun. I think that looks cute. I like that. I'm gonna grab this pan. I'm using a sheet pan for something I shouldn't be. I don't know. Alright, so we have our handy dandy silicone mat. Instead of a silicone Steve, it's a silicone mat. Alright, so let's see, we'll start this in this corner. So that's a cute little bun. Let's see how it rises and what it does. What are we gonna do next? Cut this in half so that we have 2 pieces to work with. Or should I make this one 3? Let's try it as 3. Let's see what happens if we do a bun with 3. We're just playing here. This is Play-Doh, right? Brioche dough, Play-Doh, potato, potato. There's no potatoes or potatoes in this though. Potato bread is yummy. We should make some potato bread sometime. Though I've been asked by household members to make cookies. See, it's sticking to the counter. Sticking to the counter. Don't like it. And so maybe that part's like a super sticky part that should be floured. I don't know. I don't know what parts want to be floured and what parts don't want to be floured. But like that last one I did, and it was like rolling out nicely and not sticking to everything. That was nice. Why this one is deciding to become fluid and stick to everything, I don't know. Maybe it's smaller, and because I'm rolling it out smaller, it's deciding to do that. I am coming up with hypotheses. Hypotheses? I don't know. But these are just little buns, little baby loaves. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. That one is shrinking, shrinky dinky shrinking. Okay, and see, I think this one just has more dough in it. Yeah, this is why I like to weigh them out, but I didn't weigh them today, so we're ending up with some that are thicker, longer. Okay, we're going to cut off the end there, and we're going to attach it here. And we're going to roll this a little bit more, and then we're going to take this and see if we can roll it together and roll this side out a little bit and get them more even. No, this one's too little, or too thick. Not long enough. See, there you go. Just beat it up a little bit and they get better. That's one of the ways that you know there's a strong gluten in it, is because it tries to bounce back together. It's shrinking and melting. Braid, 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 braid. Okay. Braid. Braid. Nope. Braid. Braid. Twist. Let's twist again, like we did last summer. See, and this is like a conventional braid that most people know. The other one was a 4-thing braid, and I think I did it wrong. Okay, there we go. This side of the braid looks so much smaller than this side of the braid. Okay, so let's put it on the side and roll it up into a nice, lovely, and I'm going to tuck this tail under. And there's another complicated looking roll type thingy. I think these are super cute looking. And I'm going to put this in the opposite corner to this one to try to make sure that everybody has their own space. Everybody gets their own space. Okay, so what shape are we going to do next? We did a 2 twist, we did a 3 twist, and a 4 twist. I could, you know what, here, we're just gonna do what they suggest. Let me get out my rolling pin. Where that rolling to? Okay, rolling pin. I'm just going to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Flip over, sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Roll out this way, roll out this way. And we're gonna roll it out this way. Oh, let go of my rolling pin, please. Thank you. All right, so now we're all flat. And so it said to fold in the ends like envelopes, and we're gonna roll it up. Roll, roll, roll your dough into a little log. Okay, so now this is a little log, and then I'm going to make it a little donut log. Pinch, let's pinch again. It doesn't, I don't like that. Will it unpinch? Will it unroll? Ooh, I might be able to get it to unroll. Come on. I know, I started pinching and it started sticking. Unroll it, make it flat again. Just unroll and be all flat again. There we go. So I'm just gonna roll it up. Roll it up. And then I'm gonna see if I can hook one end into another end. So let's open you up, stick you in, pinch, pinch, pinch. Lots and lots of pinching. See, never happened. Never happened. Now I wonder if this is more effective, or if like just like poking a hole in the middle of some dough. So this is kind of donut shape, so I am gonna like squeeze it so it's more like a rectangle? No, not a rectangle. Oval. Okay. So we're gonna have our donut oval right here. And then we'll make one more and put it like here. Oh, okay. So I'm just trying to give them some space if they're gonna expand and be all weird. So I don't know. Okay. So we're gonna do that. And you know, I'm gonna do this last one as just like a regular little dough ball. So get everything, smush it into the middle, middle. Another do this is to get it stuck all over the counter, but like I don't know what this is called actually. It tightens up the ball and it like makes everything go to the middle. This part's like really sticky, so we're just gonna put a little bit of flour. Baby bottom. Baby bottom. Okay, so we're gonna see. Because it's stretching tight and pulling out on the bottom and doing all this stuff. I see like professional chefs that I watch do this. And so it's a beautiful little roll. Big roll, baby roll, I don't know. And we're gonna put that there. So we have 2 braid, 3 braid, donut, and just a little roll here. So excellent. We are getting places. My hands are a little bit of a mess. So that was easy. That was a lot easier than I imagined it was gonna be. I think it's funny because like I made the brioche dough and I'm like, that should be pretty easy. You just like mix it together and knead it and it'll be fine. And then 2 hours later, it's finally fine. Then I go to form the dough and I'm like, it's gonna take a little while because I want to do braids and those are not difficult, but they take more thought. But nope. All right, so let dough proof. Okay. Grease loaf pans with butter. Place 6 pieces of dough seam side down in 1 straight row in each prepared pan. Cover with plastic. Okay, so we're gonna cover this with plastic wrap, and then it says to let it rise for an hour to an hour and 30 minutes. I don't think we're gonna wait that long. I don't quite have that patience, and I'm not gonna hang out with you guys forever and ever and ever. It just does whatever it wants. So I pulled this out too far. I grab scissors and just cut the scissors. Do this. I don't want it tight, but I want it loose. So I'm trying to get it to stick to the pan tight, but be loose in the middle. I don't know if that's going to be possible because I want it to have space to rise if it needs it. But then we are going to double cover because these things get like a crust on them if you don't like lock in the moisture. So the oven's not on right now, but I'm gonna just stick this in the oven for the moment just to have somewhere to put it, really. All right. This has been rising for a few minutes and you can see it's already looking nice. It's starting to come together nicely and it's just looking nice. But this has been rising for what, like 20, maybe 30 minutes now. So we'll give this one a little bit longer. That on a little bit longer. And then this is where I had made the starter or whatever it's called, the sponge. This is where I had made the sponge and I kneaded the heck out of it. And then I stuck it in this little bowl and put it in the fridge with the rest of the stuff. I was going to use this for pizza, but I don't know. It smells very, very yeasty. It is very yeasty. I don't think it would make a bad pizza, maybe. I don't know about this. Because this side is kind of dry. But if I work with that as the bottom, I might be able to just roll this out into a pretty good pizza dough. I don't know. It'd be awesome if somebody on here knew and could tell me, but I don't think you do. But that's okay. Facebook's being mean today. Not letting anybody join. Well, it's not letting me stream to Facebook today. It won't connect. But anyway. So let's try rolling this out and see what we can get, because maybe this will be like an awesome pizza dough. And I just don't know. Maybe not. Like I said, this side is really rough and then this side's fairly sticky. So let's see what happens. I know pizza dough, you're supposed to roll it out different. You're not necessarily supposed to use a rolling pin, but I don't think it will hurt anything too badly. Okay. If this is going to be a pizza dough, it's going to be a thin pizza dough. It's a thin pizza because I feel like this is already pretty thin. And it's not very big. I was expecting this to be a little bit bigger. I was expecting there to be more dough too. Like when I made the dough, like I added some flour to it and it just didn't do much. And so I added a little bit of water and it made a pretty like elastic kind of dough. It reminded me of making Play-Doh. Well, not making Play-Doh. What I'll do on occasion, we have a whole mess of kids and Play-Doh dries out easily. And so what I will do on occasion is like knead the hard Play-Doh, but I like run it underwater for a second so the outside's damp. Then like stretch and pull it, and it gets to be more doughy, more like Play-Doh is supposed to be. And so I do that with the Play-Doh. So I was doing that with this dough when I was forming it, stretching it, not raising it. Oh, what was I doing? I don't even remember what I was doing. Gosh darn it. Okay. Kneading it while I was kneading it. Holy cow, why are my words not working today? Words are just not working. Okay, so this is going to be more like a medium. Cool. I wonder, I know that like in pizza shops, they just like roll it out and throw it in the oven and it's all good. We'll roll it out, put the pizza toppings on it, and we'll put it in the oven. So I wonder if that will work for us, because this dough is cold. It has spent the last couple of days in the fridge, like the brioche dough. I don't think it's very happy about it, but that's where it was. That's where it's been. That's what was going on. Sorry, brioche dough. This is how you're living your life right now. This isn't even a brioche dough. This is just slightly enriched dough because it was. Oh, I did add a little bit of salt because it started off its life with milk, flour, and yeast. Milk, flour, and yeast. And then it got a little bit of salt. It got a little bit more flour and a little bit of water. And now it is this dough, and I don't think it actually ever got to rise really nicely. So I'm wondering if I should let it rise. Let it rise, let it rise, let it secure. I should probably here and rise there. What are we going to do? And I keep having this power cord for the light kind of fall into everything. I don't want it to. Okay, so we have this sitting here. Give me just a moment. I just got some mozzarella cheese. We're gonna make like a little stuffed crust on this. I have this rolled out fairly thinly. I think I'm gonna try a thing. I'm gonna try to do a thing and we're gonna see if it works. Give me just a moment. I'll be back with some mozzarella. Alright, so we have our mozzarella cheese, big bag of mozzarella cheese because I've been doing a lot of stuff with mozzarella. What am I gonna do with this? I know what I want to do. So what I'm thinking is basically to kind of make a cheese stick, but like a stuffed cheesy bread, stuffed cheese sticks. I'm not sure how I want to go about doing that, but let's start cutting objects. I'm gonna try a couple. So can you all see what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just cut this edge here. I'm gonna start off just like seeing if we can just like cram it full of mozzarella cheese. And this edge is my long end, so I want to see if I can pull this up and over. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know. This is what I was gonna make like a cheesy bread. Oh, hello. Welcome. Welcome back. Earth is calling Jen, right? Jen is a little okay, yes, I reply sometimes. I had run off to get some mozzarella cheese. I wasn't quite here. I had to run out to my garage because we have a refrigerator in the garage for kind of our big items. And I wasn't planning on doing this today, but I'm trying to figure out something to do with this dough. We have connection, right? I'm trying to figure out what to do with this dough. This was the sponge that I had made for the brioche, but I had already made a sponge, so I made 2 sponges for the brioche. And I'm just kind of playing with this to see what we can get. I already formed the brioche. So this is the loaf. This is just a braided loaf. This has been rising for about 30 to 45 minutes, somewhere in there. And I'm trying different ways of making buns. I did let's see. So I think this one is, I rolled it out into two and did the twist. Or is that the braid? One of these is I rolled them out into two and then I did a twist, and then the other one is I made a 3-piece braid. One of them I kind of rolled up into like a donut to see how that did, and the other one's just like a roll. So we're letting these rise and see what happens with them. But this dough was like a starter for the brioche, and then um I added some salt and a little bit more flour and a little bit of water and kneaded it into a dough, and it's been sitting in the refrigerator as well. And so I'm trying to see, I was thinking of making a pizza, but it doesn't seem very good for pizza. So I'm seeing if I can make these into maybe cheese sticks. I'm not sure. Um, Trying it out. So I had to go get the mozzarella cheese out of the refrigerator to see if it would actually like make cheese sticks. But I'm not sure. Because mozzarella cheese is usually what they use in pizza. And yeah, do croissants? Croissants would be good. I made croissants. No, I didn't make croissants. I made puff pastry towards the start of my journey on here. I could try croissants. Yeah, puff pastry took 2 days to make. Well, it probably wouldn't have taken 2 days if I had just sat down and done it all in one day. Um, but I didn't do that. I let it sit so it could stay cold because I didn't want it to get too warm. And now I live somewhere in very. Did you ignore my question? How have I been doing? Pretty good. I had a bunch of doctor's appointments this morning. I'm not necessarily ignoring your question. I just didn't quite see that. Because I have a tendency to look at the bottom of the tap. I wonder, because this is my silicone mat on this pan. It's kind of small. Trying to, I don't know. I feel like this dough is too dry and it's not working out very well for that. Oh no, no kind of well, I have a sinus infection. And I had been taking antibiotics for it, but I don't think the antibiotics were working very well. Because I took all the antibiotics and it felt like I still have sinus infection. So it's just hay fever season, and a lot of people around here get allergies really easily and sinus infections, and so it's just kind of what's do you know what sinuses are? Sinuses are like part of your nose, but like in your face. So okay, yes. So sinuses are like the very, very back part of your nose that are in your face, kind of behind your eyes and all of that. So somewhere in there, I have an infection, and it just makes my head very, it hurts my head, makes it very hard to breathe. And it started smelling bad when I would go to blow my nose, and it didn't, um, the medicine I took didn't work. And so they had to give me a different medicine that's stronger. Um, if the infection is too bad, you can go blind, but you would be in a lot of pain before that happens. Um, but yeah, I've been actually having pain in my back teeth, the teeth in the back of my mouth from this. I hope so too. This isn't the kind of thing that you can make other people sick with. It's just like in your body, and it doesn't feel good. All right, so I'm just rolling these up into basically breadsticks with cheese in the middle because I don't know what else to do with this dough. And I'm gonna put it on 375 Fahrenheit. Oh, what is that book? Something Fahrenheit. 365? 4? Oh, goodness. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to finish rolling this and we'll have to look up. Fahrenheit 451? Fahrenheit 51? It's a book. It's a book about a dystopian world where they don't allow people to read books. And this firefighter learns that he likes the information in books. Oh yes, if it's in your eyes enough, that's a very bad stage. Um, that's yeah, I don't even know how you would wait long enough for your eyes to hurt like that. Let's look at you. Um, this makes me look naked, but I have a little shirt, I promise. Um, but mine is all through in here, and um, so if it gets too bad, then it can make your eyes swollen, it can hurt your ears. Mine's been hurting my top teeth back here. And it hasn't been fun. It's not my idea of a fun time. But I took 2 weeks of antibiotics and it's still not better. So they gave me stronger antibiotics, and I'm hoping that will be much better, but we'll have to see. So, the brioche is probably going to take a little bit longer to rise, but I finished the cheese sticks, and we'll see if those. I'm just gonna pop them in the oven right away because I don't want to pay attention to them really, but I don't want to do. But I think it's still gonna be a little while, and I'm not sure what else to make at the moment. Because part of what I was going to make was a pizza, but this dough didn't turn out quite right for pizza. I could go through and make pizza dough. That could be a thing. Or I could make the cookies my husband's been asking for. Could do that. Let's bake something, but I don't know what to bake. Today is gonna be more of a rising cookies, right? I made these amazing lemon cookies a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely amazing. My husband wants some more. Cookies! Okay. We can I have no lemons, so we can't make lemon cookies. What kind of cookies should we make? Let's make some oatmeal cookies real quick. So I have half a stick of butter. Let's see if we can find. There's two things that you love: garlic and cookies. What's your favorite kind of cookie? Chocolate chip. How much butter? Gotta rearrange. Because I don't have a lot of butter in here right now. This is half a stick. This is what I have in here. Let's see how much those chocolate chips that it needs. Ooh, 1 cup. So even half a recipe would be half a cup. Is a quarter of a recipe? I don't think we're gonna make a quarter. Cowberry? Okay, what are cowberry? I have to look at that. Cowberry cookies? What? This Google search says lingonberry. You need to go to sleep. Well, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it when you're here. That's amazing. Let's see. Cowberry. Is that the... Do they look anything like that? No. Okay. Well, I will do some more research and I will try to make cowberry cookies on another day. I have to look into that. But thank you for stopping by. Good night. I hope you get some good rest. Oh no. There we go. Sorry, my camera didn't quite work out. It is very, very hard. In the desert. Okay. And the main reason I'm keeping this on here is for the microphone. But these are the cheese sticks. We'll see how they turn out. Anyway. Also known as strawberry or yeah. So lingonberries, looks like lingonberries are powder. So that I don't have any lingonberries, so we can't make those. I do have strawberries. Strawberry. I just don't know. Okay. Well, yeah. So we're not going to make those cookies today. Let's see. Let's get back to the brioche bread. This is the beautiful bit, but oh, here's my oven. Fresh egg wash on top of it and sprinkle light salt. Bake until deep golden on top, about 30 minutes. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put these are, I had made a spare sponge for the brioche bread, and with that sponge, I added a little bit more flour, a little bit of salt, and I kneaded it and rolled it out, and I filled it with mozzarella cheese, and that's what these are. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this in the oven and see what happens. This is the loaf, and it's actually rising really nicely. I do think I want to give this about 15 more minutes. I think it's been rising for about an hour now. We're closing in on an hour anyway. Probably about 45 minutes. This actually wasn't that hard to form. I was really surprised at how quickly it came together. So this is the brioche. This is a brioche bread, just like a braided bread. These, which I think this one is just a twist. I took 2 pieces of dough, twisted them together, and that's a little bun. This one, I cut it into 3, braided it, and so this is a braided bun. This is just a bun. This is rolled into a circle, and it technically has a hole in the middle, but I want to see if when it bakes, if it's going to bake the hole out of the circle. So we'll see how that goes. Today we formed all of the bread and we're letting it rise, and we're just kind of seeing what's going on right now. We might have a little bit of music, background music. I'll add some background music. Some light background music. Hopefully that's not going to be too loud and overpower everybody. Just trying to give these a little bit longer to rise. When I was forming the dough was still cold. I had only been out of the refrigerator for about 45 minutes before I started working with it. It was supposed to be taken care of. I got supposed to take the dough out this morning before I left to run errands, but that didn't happen. So now we have cold dough, but when I was working it, it got a lot warmer. And so I'm hoping that when I was working it and it got warmer, that brought it up to temperature so it would be easy to rise, do this final rise. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm not sure what's going on with that. So, like I said, I'm just trying to give these a few more minutes. But let's take a look at what's happening in the oven. I just put the cheese sticks in the oven. I put them on the bottom rack because I wanted to see if having them on the bottom rack would, the bottom rack is a little bit hotter, and so I wanted to see if that would be a little bit better for the cheese sticks to bake, because the dough was very, very thin, and it was more kind of crackery and not very, like it didn't move very good like a bread dough would. It felt very dry and not very moldable. But oh, there we go. I'm trying to pull the lights out on this tripod and there's stuff, it seems like. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just that one is stuck. Anyway, so those cheese sticks are on the bottom rack baking. I just gonna let them do their thing and see what happens. And I'm hoping to have these cheese sticks as a snack for the kids. I should have decided to make something else for today as well, but I didn't think about it. Well, I did think about it. I thought about I was gonna make a pizza while brioche was rising. I was going to make a pizza out of the other dough, but it didn't form right. So we're doing cheese sticks instead. But the cheese sticks didn't make as much making as a pizza would have. So now I'm not sure what's good. I just want to watch things bake. since this is, it's really, really tall. Since we're making these, I forgot I brought the lids out. Let's put it back away for a minute. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and make our egg wash. Since what the heck is happening here? Okay. Let's do the recipe. And we'll go ahead and make our egg wash and coat everything. The breadsticks actually smell kind of nice. They smell pretty nice, so I'm really excited about those. But what is this? What's the recipe for say an egg wash? So, remainder ingredients. Egg wash out of them. Oh, this is a large egg and 1 tablespoon water. Egg wash. Okay, so we have an egg. The shell in there. I saw somebody say that if you just drop an egg in a bowl, it should crack perfectly. That didn't work, and it ended up with an eggshell in there. So I'm gonna say that is false. So it seems like having something in the background makes it be a little better. I'm gonna go get a little bit of water. I don't think that you all can see a difference from me putting water in there. Let's use a fork. We're gonna whip this up with a fork. Well, it looks fairly whipped to me. So from here, I'm just going to use a brush, grill brush, pastry brush, whatever you want to call it. And we're just going to paint. I'm going to paint this. If that was a little rough. You want to do this lightly. You don't want to paint it very roughly. And it does say to sprinkle a little bit of salt on top. I don't know if I want to try that or not. It might be good. Let's try it with one of the buns and see what that does. Have all of our buns. Buns. We can see buttons. We also see a tripod on that. Okay, I see all of the buns. There's all of the buns. Okay, so here we'll just put some egg wash over the buns. Maybe I put too much water. I don't know. Wash over the buns. And this is supposed to make them dark brown. And it says to bake for 30 minutes, so we're just gonna have some lovely time just sitting. So we have everything coated in egg wash. You can see the egg wash rolling off. I don't know how well that's gonna do, but I don't know what it's gonna do. Right. So bread in the oven. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take the cheese sticks out just because I'm not sure. They look cooked, but even though they're not brown, but they're not browning up nicely, so I'm not sure what to do with those. So we're just going to take them out and see how they are. And then I have these on the top shelf in here, and we'll see how they bake. So we're just going to watch these bake for a little while and see how that goes. So let's just hang out. these popped up nice and dark. I had to step out of the kitchen because it's too hot in here. But this looks amazing. Let's pull these out. These are really, really cute buns. I think just looking at them so far, this one's my favorite. That was a donut hole looking thing. Then the other one we have is this loaf, and I think that loaf looks beautiful. Ooh. Turn the oven off. It is way hot in here. Okay. So I have these beautiful brioche buns, and then this beautiful braided loaf. This is all looking really nice. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see about making some cookies next week. All right, so thanks for coming by. I appreciate you. If you like what you see, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.